Just real quickly wanted to just let you know about some awesome promotions. Look at this. This is like full of promotions of, uh, that's going on in Beachbody. So let's go over these real quickly, okay? First and foremost, hopefully most of you guys have been going over the Success Club party qualifications with your team. Obviously, that was SC10 last month and this month to get an invite to the Success Club party. The Diamond Leadership Party is the top 500 leadership point earners in April and May. We'll get an invite to the leadership party. And then hopefully most of us are starting to have a plan around plant-based recover. And we're talking about that with our team. Okay, that's coming out very soon. If you want to know the FAQ on that, that's FAQ 8948. If you want to know what's in it and all of that jazz, launch date exactly, it's all there for you in the FAQ. And then the last thing I just wanted to go over real quickly, guys, is the Success Together promotion. First-time Success Club point earners in May will earn a T-shirt. So that's just something that we can start approaching our teams about, especially newer coaches or even discount coaches saying, hey, we really want you to earn this T-shirt. Can we rely on you to have a pay it forward, mindset in May? Also, coaches with 3 personally sponsored coaches that earn Success Club in their first, month will also get the T-shirt as well. So again, pushing duplication, pushing to help our teams to do what it is that we're doing. Guys, with those announcements, today is Monday, okay? And it is a week to get freaking rolling and, to be ready to rock and roll in our businesses. I'm really excited about today's call. Hopefully you guys saw my my introduction of Meghan. She is a 5-star diamond. She's been in Success Club Legend 39 months, which is pretty freaking impressive. And she's obviously has sponsored 5 diamonds this year across 3 business centers. Obviously she is teaching her coaches to duplicate, and it's been pretty impressive. That's why I was like, Meghan, you got to come on to this call. She was like, I'm not sure, but you know what? I'm in it. Let's go ahead and make this happen. So guys, with that being said, Meghan, take over the call. Tell us a little bit how you got started with Team Beachbody and what the heck's going on this year so far.
Well, thank you for that introduction. I see some familiar faces, but for any of you guys that don't know me, I started with Beachbody back in about 2015. I was a discount coach for about 10 months. ICU nurse by trade. I live in New Jersey and I have a 1-year-old son. So I feel like I have always kind of been a figure it out person, pretty much almost completely self-taught with this business. And once I started to really get into things, I never really had issues with Success Club or, just doing the things that I needed to do in order to grow my business. And candidly, I never had a problem in any of my years getting the elite points necessary to hit elite, helping people kind of get to where they needed to go, but never really getting where I needed to go. And it's been a struggle for me to hit Premier or elite pretty much my entire business. And it's been really frustrating. And I feel like so many other coaches I know can relate to, like, how do I find working coaches? How do I find people to just do the things? How do I find people who are just like me and get them to work and get them to follow? Because a lot of what we hear is, if you lead by example, people will follow. And, if the people who you have aren't doing what you need them to do or what they say that they're going to do, just go out and find new people. And for a couple of years, I just kept doing that, like this cycle of Success Club 10 and 20. And, at the end of this past year, I had a baby. I was completely fed up and I'm like, I have to do something that changes. And as such a figure it out person, I realized I had this like aha moment that I wasn't figuring out leadership and I was the problem. So I didn't really know what I was doing, and I'm going to explain what I ended up doing in January. And I know that it's not necessarily conventional or what, we're taught in terms of leadership, but this has been working for me and maybe it'll work for you too. And I think one of the things that I thought of too, as an ICU nurse, we chart on our patients like every hour, like what they're doing, what they're saying, what they're talking about. And I'm like, I'll go a month with Success Club 20 and I'll see a coach cancellation. And I'm like, I don't even know who this person is. Like, I don't know what they were doing. I don't, and it's hard, you have all these groups. And for me anyway, it was like, if this person isn't checking in, I wasn't doing what I needed to do as a leader in terms of like actually coaching them and actually mentoring them. So this is what I did. In January, I created this post, and I'll read some of it because I was very heated in it, and not maybe heated, but very passionate about what I wanted and how I was going to go about doing it. Hang on one second. I had it tagged. Damn it.
Well, while you're looking at that, I
Yeah.
have to say this. It is exciting that, how you've been, teaching duplication, and I'm excited to kind of dive into this, but I am disappointed how you said New Jersey. I was expecting to hear the whole New Jersey accent to come out.
Oh, no.
You're like, no, I'm not born and raised in New Jersey.
That might be the biggest compliment I've ever heard, by the way. You don't sound like you're from there. Okay, so this is my post. Excuse me while I drop some passionate and heated things below. I want nothing more than for you to succeed, and I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. This isn't fun if no one else rises high. This isn't gratifying if nobody dramatically changes their circumstances. And this isn't rewarding if I stand here alone. Because honestly, guys, like, you can't be anything in this business unless you have other women or men who are standing there beside you. I want you to accomplish what you want, to create a legacy, change your circumstances, to evolve, to inspire, and live the life that you've always wanted. You have to want it bad for yourself. I'm announcing right here and right now that I'm changing the way that I lead, and we'll be doing things very different from now on. I want you to know that I want to know right now who's going to ditch their self-limiting beliefs and rise with me. Who should I devote my time and energy to? Who should I spend my time with? Who will be with me on the next free trip and celebrate with me on stage at Summit? If I tag you, it's because you've shown interest in wanting to make this work. And if I haven't, please let me know, as it's hard to private message everyone. But here's the thing. I'm done with systems, forms, training, and assuming that this is all enough. I'm getting you to the top. We're getting you to the top, but only if you want it for yourself more than I want it for you. Who's grabbing 2019 by the balls and running? I'm serious. This team will be sponsoring 15 diamond coaches this year. Will you be one of them? And I said, the bigger you dream and commit, the more of me you will get. But I will be pouring all of my free time into you if you take the time to comment below. And there were 224 total comments of just coaches pouring in, saying what they wanted, and everybody kind of interacting, going back and forth. And it turned into people saying what they were struggling with, what they wanted to do. And it really, I was like, oh my God, like, I get goosebumps like talking about it, because I'm like, why haven't I not been this like transparent about what I wanted for us together, as opposed to like indirectly posting things in my team page, hoping that particular people would get what I wanted them to get, So what I did, I personally work my business completely out of this binder. And I kind of created these intake sheets that I will share my screen and just show you guys what they are. And I filled one out for every single coach that was on my team. And it kind of reminded me of like what I would necessarily do as a nurse, but it helped me stay creative. I created this on Canva, and I can totally share these too. I don't care. But I wanted to know these people and what they wanted, because to me, it didn't matter if they wanted to just make $100 a month or if they wanted to be a 15-star diamond coach. I wanted to take every single person seriously and help them achieve whatever it was that they wanted, as opposed to doing like a diamond push group, an emerald put. Like, this is all we do as coaches. And I'm like, I just need to help somebody do what they want and make this about them and not me becoming elite. So I did this, and then on the back, I did notes. So like, such and such date, they said this. Such and such date, they're struggling with this. I helped them with this. I explained this. I guided them here. I sent them this training. I recommended this book. They're here. They're struggling. And what I did was just reach out frequently. And this is going to sound crazy. But in the beginning, it was like every day, every other day, reaching out to these people. And I can, like, if somebody was 3 levels below me down line, I treated them like as if they were mine, because in my opinion, everybody on your team is worth the same. And just working with these people individually constantly has worked. And, you know, I've had diamonds pop before, and like, I think overall I've maybe sponsored like 7 or 8, but they would fall. And I never really mentored anyone. I just kind of, this is what you do kind of a thing. So I'm 5-star qualifying in my primary, 2-star now in my husband's, and then 1-star in my second CBC. So this is working for me. I know that it's a lot. And just to kind of go over how I organize like my business and my binder, I put my prospects in the first tab, because anybody who's going to join is, you know, really important. I have a first 30 tab. So anybody who joins me in the first 30 days, kind of like how Beachbody training is, they go in this first 30 tab. So those are the people that I want to be like literally like up their butt for the first 30 days to make sure that they're getting what they want. Because if you set somebody up for success early, they're more likely to not need you as much down the road, as opposed to just assuming that they're going to look at your training. They're going to look at your, like, I have coaches even to like, where are the units? There's announcements in here. Like, they don't know. Nobody sees what you think people are seeing. So I stopped assuming and just really started doing like legit mentoring. And even now, like in my posts, when I'm talking about my mentorship, I'm like, I'm not setting you up with training. I'm not sending you a form. I'm literally going to be talking to you every day. And this is how I do things now, which I know is a little different, but it's working.
That's awesome. I love the binder and how everything's just so laid out for you. And so you have your prospects, you're getting started, right? I mean, do you have like my 2019 coaches, my 2018 coach? I mean, does it kind of go from there?
So I have a worker tab, and it's kind of funny because I explained what these tabs were in my team. So I was like, if you're a worker, I don't care if you're Emerald, if you're this, if you're that, if you just started, or if you've been here for 2 years, you're going in the worker column. And then those who, you know, weren't clear with their goals and what they wanted, or the ones who weren't really showing up, there's a dreamer tab. So they go there. And like, I would have people like, don't put me in the dreamer column. Like, I want to be in the worker. Like, it was kind of funny because it was really boosting that drive to, in a weird motivating way, to kind of move up. And then I have like a diamond and up tab that's in the back because they don't need me as much anymore, but I still want to make sure that I'm helping them, you know, get to star diamond and things like that, which I'm, you know, working on as well. And then in the back, I have my clients, where pretty much everybody who's out of that first 30 tab goes back there, and like, I'll pick a day and I'll kind of run through everybody. And I know some of you might be like, how do you, like, what do you even say to these people like every single day? And it might not be like a, how's everything going? Are you enjoying your Shakeology? Like, I might just go to their page and like or interact on a post. Like, just, I want to touch them, you know, once a day or every other day frequently, so that they know that I'm there for them, so that they're comfortable reaching out to me if they need me.
Absolutely. I love that, Megan. And honestly, so like when you get people signed up, like, how do they earn your time? I mean, like that's like the biggest question that I've been like asking coaches, based around accountability. Like, what are you doing to have these coaches earn your time when you have this so limited time in the day?
Yeah, so I give everybody my time when they join, whoever they are. But I started being very firm. Like, I had, you know, one coach that I can think of who told me that, and she was a downline coach, and she wanted to earn $1,000 a month. And, you know, we had this initial conversation, and then the next week she asked me something, and I'm like, well, I haven't seen you post in 4 days. So I'm just letting you know that if you don't start doing the vitals, and if you don't start taking my advice, I'm no longer going to give advice, because my time is valuable and I only have so much of it because I have a 1-year-old that's been running since 9 months. So I was just very upfront with people on, this is who I'm helping. And even in that thread, I would kind of go back and just say, you know, like, X amount of you are, you know, doing the things, some of you are not, and the ones who are succeeding. Like, it's not too late, like, it's only February, and like, just trying to keep momentum going.
Love it. Well, I don't know if you have other bullet points, but I'd love to open it up for questions that, you know, if these coaches here want to pick your mind and just kind of say, hey, you know, what are the conversations looking like right now, whatever that is. So looks like Genevieve has a question for you. So she's always like I got one.
First of all, I love that. I love the binder. I do it all online, but that same thing, I had to do it. My question is, because I did this and I went bold, and you're right, like it's tremendous when you get that feedback. But when someone's like, I want to work, and they do it, like you said, you're wasting my time. I guess it's I'm not dealing with coaches that aren't they're posting, they're doing the things that they say they're doing, but they're not being successful. And so how do you deal with someone when they just are stuck in this rut and they say they're doing the things, and if they're posting on social media, you don't really know if they're actually inviting. There's no way to really so that's my thing. It's like you get someone who says they want to do it, but when push comes to shove, like nothing's catapulting. So I don't feel like, oh, you don't deserve my time. But at the same time, like you've been a coach for a month and a half and you're not Emerald. Like what's going on? But they've posted every day.
Yeah. I had a coach actually who sounds like that, but like she was working, she was posting, she was doing all of the things, but like I was having her send me screenshots, like show me your conversations, show me your, like I saw her trackers, I saw her conversations. I was doing like social media audits. I was doing everything. And it was like a month and a half. I'm like, oh my God, this girl is going to quit. And like, I don't know what to do. And I just kept just motivating her and just telling her to hold on and just be patient. And in that month and a half, she finally became Emerald. And now like we call it triple Emerald on my team or whatever, but like she is growing, she is building, but like it just took her longer. So I would say maybe just recommend personal development, things that are inspiring, make things fun. Like I remember there was one period where everybody on my team was kind of discouraged, and I'm like, I'm just going to do something ridiculous that is totally out of character for me. And like I did this weird lip syncing video and I like challenged everybody to like post a stupid like dance video, and it just kind of boosted the morale up and took things away from like inviting, vitals, business activity. Like, so doing things like that made it fun, because I feel like if people are not succeeding and they're not having fun, that's when they quit. Yeah. But at least if they're having fun,
totally,
they stick around.
Okay, and then my second question is, every month, do you do like if someone wants to move up, like they're put in the dreamer, how do they know do they just reach out to you, or every month are you saying, all right, I'm doing an audit or something of where you are in the categories? Are you happy with where you're at, or like how are you doing that?
So it's not formal, but like it was maybe 2 weeks ago, I did like a boomerang of me ripping out pages. And it was an empty threat, but I was like, I hate ripping out pages. And these are the people who literally like have disappeared. So like kind of like a pulse check, like where are you at? Like, and just to kind of get another thread going and get people like re-engaged into like.
You're out. I love it. I love that.
You're out. Okay. Cool. Perfect. Thank you.
Megan, something that popped in my head as you were talking. So what did that coach that was struggling that you were, kind of mentoring a little bit, like what did her numbers look like? Because I mean, like a lot of the coaches that come to me and they're like, hey, I'm struggling. I feel like I'm doing all the things. Their numbers are typically low. They're only inviting like 5 people a week. They're only following up with like 5 people a week. I mean, like what did her numbers look like? I was just curious.
So in the beginning, they were low, but then they were high. And then it was a matter of like, okay, like I know that you're increasing everything that you're doing, but maybe it's what you're saying. And like, maybe you can make your posts be like more upbeat or happier, or, maybe try to get to, because I feel like, I'll hear a coach, like I remember watching Katie Schultz and she was like, I just like to invite, or that's the complete opposite of what I do. So I try to help people experiment with different ways of doing different things so that they can find what works for them, because one way isn't going to work for everybody. And she went from like 0, 0, 0 in terms of points to like 8 this past month, and having 3 coaches on each side. So
awesome.
She's doing great.
Great. Awesome. That's good stuff. That's what I like to hear. Other questions from you guys that you have for Megan?
Okay, so you said you're like up your coach's butt, like your new coaches, which I love that. So right now I have just like this new coach mentorship on Thinkific. So it's like self-paced. So just like a quick rundown. When new coaches sign up, like working coaches, I send them an email and it has a Google form that I got off a national wake up call in the beginning of 2018. And it just describes, like, it has a quick welcome video. What is Success Club? How we earn an income? How do you share a cart? Beachbody Champions page. Like, here's how to search the FAQs. Here's coach relations number. Just like that basic information that they need to know. And then once they text me that they're done with that, then I put them into my team page, show them where the new coach mentorship that goes through like the business activity tracker. And I like haven't really been working with my coaches unless they are showing me that they're doing those things and they reach out to me. But it's like obviously not going super well. So I want to know, like, what do you do with your new coaches? Like, what are you up their butt about?
So that's exactly how I was. And I created all of this stuff in Thinkific. I had all of these units like beautifully laid out. And I just realized that like not a lot of people like look at this stuff. And and then you get the coaches who like will look at everything, but they don't do anything. So I have a form that is just kind of like, what are your goals? Like basic. I mean, I'm sure everybody has something similar. I kind of put all of that stuff on that like little intake form. And I'm like, okay, like what are we going to do this week? Like, what are you going to do? Like, when are you going to post? Like, can I help you, do your first post? Who are you going to talk to? And like, obviously if they're interested in working, and if they're not, they're not. But I really want to know, like, what can I help you do this week? And just one step at a time, like every couple of days a time kind of a thing. Cause you'd be surprised how many people just don't look at anything.
Well, they're paralyzed, right? They're paralyzed by
Yeah.
like all of the information too. They're like, holy crap, like where do I start? And if you take it one week at a time, I like that approach. So, Chris, you had a question, right?
Yeah. Okay. So my question is I, have tried all the things, and recently I took my mentorships more of like one-on-one. So I will meet like all day on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I'm doing one-on-ones with the girls that are like running the business. But my question for you is, when you meet with them and you're talking to your girls, do you set really high expectations for them? Because I set really high expectations. I feel like some will follow through, and I don't want to meet with them every single week if they can't even get on the SC board. It's like wasting my time. I could be inviting or doing something else. So do you set those expectations like really, really high for them? Like, you need to, show me some sort of action than just posting on social media?
So I feel like when I started, you would watch a training and like I'd see somebody like Barbie Club be like, if you don't hit Success Club, like, like you need to do certain, and that's what I was trying to do, and it wasn't working for me. Okay. And I look at my coach that I was just talking about, and like if I would have just written her off, like, oh, like she hasn't, it's been 2 months, like, but like maybe she wouldn't have had SC8 and 6 coaches now, So I feel like if they tell me like, I want to make $1,000 a month, and I'm like, okay, like what are your goals for Success Club for the month? And they tell me I want to help 2 people. I'll tell them like, that's not going to cut it. That's awesome. But this is what I think you should aim for in order to meet that within a quarter, So I'm realistic about helping them understand what they want and what they're willing to do, and then just helping them with wherever that is. Because if they're like, it'd be nice if I could just make like $200 a month and, just help somebody here and there, I'll help them there instead of being, you should be a diamond coach and like, do all, because that just, I think some people freak out and get paralyzed if you set something beyond what they think they're capable of without getting a taste for anything, if that helps.
Okay, cool.
I love that. Setting that realistic expectation is absolutely key too. I love that. Sorry, I just had to pitch in there. Go ahead, Christy. Ask your next one.
My other thing was, I wanted to ask if you'd be willing to share that form that you shared with us in the tip package. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll attach them in.
Great. Any other questions? I mean, I don't want to shortchange anyone if you guys are like dying to ask Meghan some questions. Megan's like, I'm cool with like awkward silence. This is fantastic. Then I'll ask a question because we still have 5 more minutes. So,
okay.
Meghan, so I am a coach. I am saying the right things in my conversations, but necessarily am not following up in the best way. How do you teach your coaches to follow up after that initial conversation starter?
So if they put a feeler out and invite, like how to kind of revisit it. So I'm the coach that likes to build relationships first as opposed to inviting first.
Okay.
So I'm always telling them to be more social and, go like and comment on their posts. Go, if you see that they just celebrated a birthday party for their kid, asking them about that and like just being a person as opposed to that person who's following up. Unless there's something new coming up, which we always, obviously do like everybody else, but like, hey, like this new thing is, blah, 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 blah. Like you should, check it out or whatever. But I'm always going to the conversation and relationship first.
Awesome. So you're not like teaching them, hey, I'm just following up. It's like go and comment on their things. It's like, be a person, be a real person. Don't.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Everyone's like, okay, then Megan, give us your like actionable, like, hey, go do X, Y, and Z. Like if you're going to do, we're for your team or whatever, like give us an actionable item to go and to push for this week. What would that be?
If you have a team page or a place where your people are, I would either go live or do a post. Tell them exactly what you want for yourself, what you want for your team, and ask them to, respond with what they want for themselves. And then out of those people that are interested, pour everything that you have into them and see, if this is a different style for you, obviously, see what doing something different does. Because I feel like just like we all invite differently, changing your leadership style it took me like 3 years to get a hold on this, but it could be a game changer for you in terms of, helping your coaches grow.
Love it. Well, Megan, seriously, thank you so much. Guys, if you missed the very beginning of the call, I went through a bunch of announcements that are going on. Make sure that those announcements get to your team, okay? Other than that, guys, you guys are all freaking amazing. We're all pushing for elite and premier. Like, let's freaking make this Monday the best Monday that we've ever had. So let's freaking go do it. All right, guys. We'll see ya.